when are you gonna try out for Project Runway? Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Angelina, and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just unique as us. It is 2020, and we were able, at the end of 2020, to get about 8,000 new subscribers, and it's all because of you guys sharing my videos, and I'm so grateful. I just want to say thank you guys so much. We're so much closer to our goal. We're at about almost 80,000, so about 20 more thousand subscribers to go. But I just wanted to say welcome to all of our new subscribers, and a big thank you to everybody who has been here throughout this journey. I'm so grateful for you guys. And I started this whole trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. It seems like, you know, what most YouTubers do, but for me, it's not so much about the numbers as it is, I don't know if you guys know, but they turned off my comments for 8 months thinking that my channel was a kids channel. And it was because, and only because, I won YouTube Next Up and got a channel partner manager that I was able to get my comments back. She really fought for me, and she is amazing, and I don't want to lose her. So, but it's temporary. When you win Next Up, you get a temporary partner manager, and so once you get over 100,000, you get a permanent one, and I want to keep her as our permanent channel manager. So if you guys just please keep sharing the channel, and I am so appreciative of every single one of you. As I am reading off the questions, before I answer it, if you already know the answer, go down in the comment section and answer it before I answer and see if you get it right. All right, so we're gonna kick it off with the student who inspired this video, and her name is Aisha Adebayo. I hope I said that correctly. And she basically wanted to know, how did I start, and my own upcycling brand, how I actually started upcycling thrifted items. My fashion line is coming out in the spring of this year, and I'm super excited about that. You'll definitely be hearing more about that. But if you are into purchasing the designer fashion, definitely keep an eye out for that. But I started upcycling some years ago because I actually was watching other YouTubers do really small things on YouTube, like thrifting items, and I was just like, I could do that. Like, I had been sewing, I have been sewing for a long time, and I'm like, I can do that. And so I started doing it, and then I thought to myself, like, really, more people should know about this. Like, I'm just the problems I have going to the store is just that my arms are long and my legs are long. But I know for a fact, just by having friends, by having families, sisters, and know that the retail industry is not it's not for people, really, honestly. It's not for real women. And so I wanted to start sharing the how to alter your clothes so that other people could see that just you're not limited to what you see in the stores. You can change it and alter it to fit your size, to fit your personality. So that's how I started upcycling. And I actually have all the questions in my handy dandy satin lined hat that I've been using. I'm still on, you know, like travel mode right now, but I have this in here, and I'll put a link to the video on how to make this from an old sweater. But first, I wanted to start with this one that you guys voted that you wanted to know the answer to, and it is from Tasha Vaughn. Hey girl. And the question is, what are the top 5 designers that inspire your thrift flips? Number 1 is Monse. I absolutely love that brand. They are very, that brand looks like upcycle, so it gives me a lot of inspiration, as well as Alexander Wang, Fendi, Kate. Oh, I love those dresses. And if you want to see like examples, I do a video every New York Fashion Week, or even like fashion weeks, to show you the designers from all over the world that are inspiring me that particular season. So Max Mara, Victoria Beckham, they're all amazing to me, so definitely check out those videos. And if you guys are looking for inspiration, one of the things that I say all the time is Pinterest is amazing for inspiration. And if you want to know where my specific inspiration for any of my upcycles is coming from, I most likely have pinned a ton of things on my Pinterest pages at Blueprint DIY that let you know where I'm pulling inspiration from for some of the things that I'm doing. And if at the end of this I haven't answered your question, definitely put more questions in the comments. Like I said, I always respond, so I will answer it in the comments below. All right, let's see what we're gonna get. This question is from Santa, and I never know know if I'm saying your name right, but I'll just say Sana, Queen Roxy Granite, and she wants to know which are your greatest sources of inspiration. And like I said, it is the runways. Runway fashion is my greatest source of inspiration. The designers, they always just give me such inspiration, and it's all on Pinterest. And it says, do you always have a well thought out plan when you start a new piece, or do you come up with ideas and solutions along the way? And how are you so awesome? Thank you. And Sana, you know that you're awesome. She is in our private Facebook group, and she is amazing, posting just all kind of stuff. So I respect her skills, but I do have plans, and this is how I plan my upcycles as well as my YouTube videos. There is an app called Trello, and it has a corresponding website, which I love. So whether I'm on my computer or on my phone, I can always keep my ideas handy. So I would highly recommend that for you guys who are trying to, you know, keep up with videos or keep up with your upcycle ideas. But I put them all in there. But this is the thing. We talk about this often. Your plans at some point have to stop, and you have to just do it. Just like with my runway show, I was planning and planning and planning and planning. I spent months planning. And when it really came down to it, I just had to go and do it, actually cut some stuff and sew some stuff. And I tell you, like, so much comes out of just the act of doing it, even the act of failing. More comes out of that than the act of planning. And I'm not saying don't plan, but I am saying at some point you have to get past the planning and you have to just do it. All right, our next question comes from an OG subscriber, Taylor, which is Buckeye Beauty on Instagram, and she wants to know, how do you balance time to see and create with being a mom to active kids and on YouTube? And another person, I'll combine the answer with this. I am a full-time YouTuber. That doesn't mean full-time pay, but I do spend my full-time, as far as my work time, on developing my brand as far as YouTube, my fashion line, and everything like that. So I try my best to spend my work time on work, which I'm always working actually, but having the laptop helps me a whole lot, because I used to, up until, well, I just got a laptop this year, and so everything that I was working on was in the house. But now, like, my kids, dance company, violin, drama club, my son is in a musical, we go to practice for that, martial arts, and now I can take my laptop with me and work as I am sitting as a mom waiting on kids to get out of practice and do their different activities. So that is definitely very, very helpful for me, balancing my working, because a lot of stuff that I do is online, and I can always, when I'm sitting there waiting on them, I can always respond to you guys' comments and stuff like that. So I'm always thinking like how to multitask, and so multitasking is my best friend. All right, so quick shout out to My Various Delights. She is an OG follower as well, and she basically was asking me the same thing about how I balance everything, cooking, home, kids, which I don't do a whole lot of cooking, and that's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to make sure that we do more cooking at home. All right, so the next one is from I'll put it on the screen. She wants to know any tips for those who would like to start a sewing YouTube channel. I do have, this is a big tip. This is my biggest tip for anybody who's starting any type of YouTube channel. Find a schedule that you can post and be consistent. If you are not consistent, it is so much harder to grow on YouTube. And I know that a lot of us, I struggled with this for a long time. Which is why I've been on YouTube for 7 years and just now like starting to see big growth. I've seen my biggest growth when I have been consistent, and only big growth when I'm consistent. Find a schedule, whether it's once every 2 weeks, once a week, which I would recommend, 3 times a week, 2 times a week, whatever it is, and just try your best to be consistent. And if you are going to miss a video, just definitely let everybody know, like, hey, I'm going to miss this video, and then, you know, start back on your schedule the next time. All right, the next question is, from Amanda Eccles. I hope I said that right. And the question is, do you still work as an architect as well as your awesome designs? This is something that a lot of people don't know about me. I am a licensed architect. That's what I went to school for. So that's what my degree is in. And I was working as a full-time architect and also doing YouTube on the side until my husband passed away. The project I was working on a museum project, and it was 2 hours away from the house, and I could not imagine myself as a single parent being 2 hours away from my kids at any given moment during the school day. So I am no longer doing that. I am focusing on YouTube and my fashion line because that's something I can do and still be as active a mother as I prefer. All right, this one is from This Is Me, Bridget. What's up, Bridget? And it is, and I think she's fairly new to our channel. I think so. And it says, when did you realize that you were fashionably unique? I remember in the 6th grade, my mom had a turtleneck. It was a red turtleneck, and I thought it was really cute. And in the 6th grade, I could fit it. It was from her when she was young, and I wore it to school. And I remember walking into class, and I think I walked in a little bit late. I don't know. But when I walked in, everybody laughed. And that's when I realized that I was fashionably unique. And that's when I decided that day that I was going to suppress my uniqueness. And I did that until high school. And then in high school, I started making a few clothes for myself, sewing, from patterns at that time. And back then, it was so cool to have brands, Adidas, Nike, different brands like that. And making homemade clothes was not cool. And so I once again decided that I was going to suppress my uniqueness. And I do not recommend that. I'd stay on my daughter about that, just to be who you are in spite of what people say, because I really, really, really wish that I had was strong enough in my own self to express myself. And at that time I was not. But now, since being a mother, and you put so much into your kids, and I just finally made a decision that I wanted to explore. And it happened little by little. And I hear so many of you guys say that, I could never wear that. I could never pull that off. And you'll really never know what you can pull off until you just start to explore. And I'm not saying that your fashion has to be my fashion. I do not believe in that. But what I am saying is that once you start to explore yourself, you just push the envelope just a little bit, and you begin to like that or not like it. The exploration goes both ways. I wear plenty of things, even things that I put on this channel, and I'm like, that wasn't quite me. It's not that it wasn't great, it just wasn't quite me. And move on to the next thing. And so as I have done this channel, and this channel started as me exploring my fashion, so I've only been putting myself out there and pushing the fashion envelope for me for 7 years, because this is my exploration, and I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And a lot of people commented on my 50 upcycles video, like, some of this stuff is crazy and stuff like that, but that's the amazing thing. That's what I love so much about fashion, and even architecture. All of it is so subjective. Once you cover the basis of the fact that it covered my body, or a building that it's standing and it has all the rooms in it that it's supposed to have, or like your dress, it has the pockets, it has a zipper, whatever. Past that, everything else is subjective. And so that's the amazing thing about upcycling. And what we do here is that you can make it specifically for you. Nobody else has to like it. Nobody else has to wear it. So that's when I just decided that I'm gonna be me. And you guys, are amazing for the most part, but some people don't like it. And I'm finally to the point where I'm okay with that. All right, so one more question from here is there any plans in the future for a blueprint DIY brick and mortar or sewing class? I actually, for me, sewing is a tool. And so I would really like to give you guys some like sewing type classes, or not even really sewing. It would include sewing, but upcycling classes online. But that is in the future. For my first objective is to make sure that the channel is sustainable, like my channel is financially sustainable, and that the videos are sustainable, that everything can keep rolling, and my fashion line, and then sewing classes for you guys, because I do want to, so many of you say that you want to sew, and I really want to make sure that you're getting what you need. But you know, that is definitely down the line in the future. And so definitely put in the comments if you're interested in an online sewing course from me in particular. Just put it in the comments, and I will definitely make sure that we get what we need so that we are all upcycling on the same level. All right, this is a question I get quite a lot, and the question is from Bryn, and it says, when are you going to try out for Project Runway? So this is the deal. Project Runway is amazing for people whose strength is to sew with raw fabric. I don't like sewing with raw fabric. So if it were all upcycling, I absolutely would try out for Project Runway. And this brings us to my members only video for this week. If you are at all interested in this topic, definitely become a member, because I have some juicy stuff going on in our video this week, something that may happen in the future. But yeah, as far as Project Runway, I would do really good on the unconventional materials challenge, and then everything else I just wouldn't be interested. It's not that I don't know how to sew. I know how to use patterns. I know how to, you know, do all of that stuff, but it's just not my interest. You know, the whole time I would be thinking like, oh, this would be so much easier if I was upcycling. That's what I do well, and that's what I enjoy. So I probably will not be trying out for Project Runway. I'm sorry, guys. The next question is from Alina Allen, and she wants to know, were you self-taught or did you take sewing classes? I did neither. My mom taught me how to sew. I guess it was classes, but it was just really as she was sewing, I learned how to sew as a kid, a pretty young kid, because by the time I was 10 years old, I was making doll clothes and going to little fairs and selling them and stuff like that. So yeah, I learned how to sew from her, and I started on doll clothes, and it just progressed. The thing about me is that I've always been a renegade. She taught me properly, so anything that I do renegade style, I apologize in advance for all of the mothers who are teaching their kids the proper way to sew. She did give me a good training in sewing, how to do things properly, but I always have been pretty impatient with the process, and so that's why upcycling works so good for me, because a lot of the zippers and buttons and stuff are already done, and I can just let my creativity just take flight versus spending so much time on the little things that have to do with sewing. So yeah, that's how that happened. I actually used to get in trouble quite a lot for taking shortcuts, but I think it's turned out for my good, I guess. All right, so this question comes from Rakia Doss, and it says, hello there, Angelina. Hi, Rakia. How long have you been sewing, and do you have fabrics that you love or hate? I just answered the how long have I been sewing, but do I have fabrics that I love or hate? Yes. I was just talking to my mom about this today, because I was telling her that like in fast fashion was designed, those fabrics and the construction were designed to fail. So even like if the construction is designed to fail, that's, you know, you could reuse that. But some of those fabrics were designed to just not last very long. And so they don't make good upcycling candidates, because can you imagine putting all your effort into remaking something and then you wash it once and then it's not, you know, it shrinks, or it just is like the shape doesn't hold. So some fabrics, a lot of like these synthetic fabrics and different things, when I see them in the thrift store, I just won't get them, because like they're almost not good for anything. And that's not true, because they're, you know, you could reuse them and do other things with them. But when we're talking about, you know, some of your more like nicer pieces that you're making, some of those fabrics I try to stay away from. But then think about it, some of those things that you find in the thrift store, the reason they are in the thrift store and probably have been resold like 50 times is because that material is so good and so durable and different things like that. So those materials, they last. All right, next question is from Simply Diddy, and she's an OG as well, and it says, how do you keep yourself motivated and inspired? You guys do a great job of that, actually, because even if I get to a point where I don't know what to do next, I have a whole list of suggestions that I can pull from, and I just really like doing this. I really like doing this. All right, so the next question is from Is It Vain to Say I'm Pretty? And she's an OG as well. And it says, did the death of your husband affect your fashion or style? And I would have to say that yes, absolutely, it has affected it. In that, I've always been me, but when you are in a relationship with someone, you are you compromise for that other person because of their feelings and who they are. And so I am not risque in any form of the word, I don't think, but my husband was very conservative, and so there were certain things, like I probably would have never done the Cardi B video or different things like that, even though I mean, like, I wasn't showing anything on those videos, but he was just the type of person that, you know, I don't know, you just do different things when you're married versus when you're not married. And so I feel like my fashion is more free. It's completely me, 100% me now, versus being me with consideration for another person. So now I don't have to consider anybody except for myself, my own values, my own ideas, and different things like that. So it definitely does affect, you know, your fashion, your style, and the things that you do. All right, so the next question is Vicky Riddle Cox. What's up, girl? How has having a YouTube channel helped you financially and creatively? All right, so the thing about YouTube is that, well, let me tell you guys how someone makes their money on YouTube. The first way that someone makes money on YouTube is, you know, the ad that plays in the beginning of the video. Then that ad, if someone clicks it, then the YouTuber makes a small portion, pennies, of the ad revenue. And so that's, when you really think about it, unless you're making millions and millions of views, then you're, you know, it's like some change added to your pocket for the month. The main way that YouTubers make money is from their merch, from sponsored videos, which I will be trying to do more, and you guys will see a really good one coming up soon, and then also from my memberships, which I will be pushing more, because that's the way that YouTube can become sustainable for any YouTuber. So, you know, if you see these YouTubers out here hustling, understand that they are not making money unless they're doing those other things. So, you know, just be kind, because they're giving free content. They're giving free content, and most of the time, a lot of times, they're not getting anything in return. I mean, they're getting something in return, you know, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it, even if it's just satisfaction, which has been my motivation for a long time. But as this is my main source of income, or becoming my main source of income, you know, then I am looking for other ways to make sure that it stays sustainable, and especially to continue to do it for years and years and years, and give you guys more like amazing content, that big content that just, you know, makes you guys excited. So yeah, that it's becoming just now more sustainable financially for me, and I'm grateful for that, so that I can make this a long-term decision versus just, you know, doing it off and on like I used to do it at the beginning. All right, so that is it. I hope you guys have enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about me. And like I said, if you have more questions, put them in the comment section, because I will definitely answer them for everyone. And if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. Now you know so much about me. Definitely subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.